Hi, this is Sean Matthew from Mainframe Hard Tutorials. In part 3 of our CSS tutorial. In this video, we will study about CSS Comments and Fonts. CSS Comments. CSS comments always start with a / then a star and ends with a star and another /. So I have our wishes open, but it's not responding now. So I will take it and we will edit our project which we did in our previous videos. So here we have Visual Studio. People who have used Visual Studio must be familiar with commenting a line or commenting multiple lines, because you have a button here to comment out the selected lines. The shortcut for that is Ctrl plus K first, then press Ctrl plus C, and you can find that here. So if you don't find it here, then you can find it in edit, advanced, and then comment selection. So if you don't see this button here, that might be because you should have dragged it somewhere else, such as this might be under this, like that. And so in our previous video we did CSS selectors, and you can see that I have that itself here. And now let's comment a line. So now I show you in the slide that CSS comments start with those two, and now let's add them. Now you can see that we just got intelligence. When we opened that time itself it closed. So in that, now let's write something such as given below ID text has the color of blue violet. So actually this doesn't make any changes to the web page. So then you must have a doubt how to insert and comment in HTML. We will learn about that in any other tutorials when we use HTML. I will say that time. So this is an CSS comment. So now let's go to our next slide about font. So at next we are going to learn about CSS fonts. CSS have fonts of many types. They have many font families such as serif, sans serif and monospace. They also have many things in them. So serif have the following fonts: Times New Roman, Georgia and Times. It also has some more, but as a beginner you only need to learn about these fonts. Most of the time serif fonts are used in a computer and web page, but it's very hard to read the serif font. So we have another font called sans serif, which contains the Arial font, Verdana font, Helvetica font and the Impact font. It also has another font called Charcoal. And do you know why is sans serif easier to read? We will discuss about it. It is because you can see that all fonts are written in Arial-like fonts. It is sans serif. So another we have is monospace. Monospace also not look that much great on web pages. So let's try most of these. And here we have our background color attribute and background class and text ID also, and we will add font family to the background. We only need one font family to add. We only need one font to add for both of these, and so we will only add to one. That's because two fonts can be applied to one element. You can see that we have both the background and text here. Dot background is the background class and ID is the hashtag ID text. So we will change the font here. For that for changing the font we use an pseudo class of CSS called font family. So let's use that font family pseudo class here. So you can see that we got IntelliSense, and here is the font family, and here is the description of that. Specifies a prioritized list of font family names or generic family names. A user agent iterates through the list of family names until it matches an available font that contains a glyph for the character to be rendered. So we want to use this. So you can press Tab key or Enter key. I will press the Enter key. Then we can give the name by typing colon. So at time you can see that you will get a lot of fonts that you can use. So you have Microsoft Sans Serif and other Microsoft fonts, and you have monotype cursiva, monospace that we've seen on this, and we might also have sans serif. So here is the sans serif. So now let's save it, but before we use this, we will not use this actually now, but we want to see the difference actually between this sans serif font and other fonts. The default font of a web page is serif font, so I am going to cut it out. And now let's save and run our project one time. Here is our output window. It will show build, and if here is written that build succeeded, then we can run our project on the browser and it will automatically open. So you can see that here we got build once succeeded, and it will be succeeded according to your number of projects. And here there are the other conditions such as failed, up to date. Up to date means the project is not checked until now, and skipped means we have skipped that project from checking the errors. So here we have a browser window open. Let's go to that page. It will take a little bit time. So you can see that we have the text font here, but we don't set this. It is set by browser default, but then you will have a confusion here at this page. That's my problem. I am here at localhost 53,938, but at last time we used /index.html path here, and it's happening because we have style.css file when we build and run our project. If you are at this index.html file, then it will specify the same path. But then you will have another doubt that how did we got that index.html file here in this localhost, the root application. That's because we have this index.html file in a root application itself. If you include that in a folder or anything, then it might not work. So you have seen that it is very hard to read. But now let's use the font family. In the background pseudo class, so I am going to paste the thing that we copied. So now let's save and again refresh the browser. So now you can see that our page has some more perfect font here, and that's because of our font family. If you want to specify a single font, such as we see in here Times New Roman, but we will not use that. Arial, Vardhana, Helvetica or Impact, you can use that. And another important thing is that if you are using a font that has spaces between it, such as Courier New, Lucida Console, Times New Roman, and etc., you will have to include that as a text, that in single quotes or double quotes. Both are fine. Or you can take any of the fonts from the IntelliSense. So we changed our font, but let's set it to another font, and that is the Arial font. So when we type A, we will get all the things that we can see, and Arial is of Helvetica type. Both are same. So you can use your favorite combination of sans serif font, or if you want to use serif font, you can use serif, but I always prefer to use Arial Helvetica sans serif. So now let's save and let's reload the page. So you can see that there is no change here actually. And why is it happening? Because we use the same font family. This is a generic font family, but we use CSS font family. So that's always better if you specify a single font, not a group of fonts. So that's only for this video. Thank you for listening.